play the game with the people that writing the rules. Ain't the fame that I'm after when paying the dues. I've been through the pain that's reflected in the attitude. Might be winning now, but the thing is that I had to lose. So go and tell me what you really want to do. And lonely at the top, cause there ain't a lot of room. Ain't no other option, that's all I ever knew. So I'ma get it poppin', you know how I'ma do. I've been down through the blood and the sweat. Guarantee you can know I'm a threat. I've been down through the blood and the sweat. And I ain't close to being done yet, I'm going all in. Yeah, I'm going all in. And I ain't close to being done yet, I'm going all in. Yeah. They know I'm going all in. Through the blood and the sweat, y'all know we ain't close to being done yet, I'm going all in. I've been down from the jump. Ain't no love lost, we just really doing us. Go and take your seat, looking silly getting up. Y'all know what it is, let me tell them what it was. It was 24/7 on the grind, one thing at a time. Hard to understand, kind of person got the state of mind. We was making moves every day, getting things in line. You could go and say what you want, but believe that I've been down through the blood and the sweat. Guarantee you can know I'm a threat. I've been down through the blood and the sweat. And I ain't close to being done yet, I'm going all in. Yeah, I'm going all in. And I ain't close to being done yet, I'm going all in. Yeah. They know I'm going all in. Through the blood and the sweat, y'all know we ain't close to being done yet, I'm going all in.
What is up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the Niner Sickness Podcast. I am your boy, your host, Niner Beto. How's everybody doing today? It is game day, Sunday, game day. Niners versus the Bengals the week before the bye. I cannot wait for this game. I'm excited. I'm excited about every game, to be honest with you, but particularly this game, only for the fact that I would want to go into the bye with a dub instead of a loss. How many of you are with me? How many of you are with me? Would you rather go in to the bye with a dub or a loss? Let me know in the comments. Let me go ahead and acknowledge my faithful in the house. What's up, Daniel Burry Sports? Welcome. We got Jimmy PS in the house. What's up, Jimmy? We got Bebop Jones in the house. What's up, Bebop? We got 49er Minded in the house. What's up, 49er Minded? Oh, man, I am fired up. Let's go. Sunday. Right now, I'm watching the Dallas Cowboys kicking the ass of the Lambs, silencing the Lambs. Although it's 33-17, the Eagles and the Washington Commanders are going back and forth. I believe the Eagles just took the lead late. We'll see how that game turns out. You know who I'm rooting for. Let's go Commanders. Take care of the Eagles. And then the Cowboy game, that's a hard one for me. Let's be honest. The Cowboys and Rams, do I really want one or the other team to win? I'm like, if Cowboys lose, great job. If the Rams lose, great job. Now, preferably, I would hope that the Niners win today. regardless of the Cowboys and Rams game. Okay? But since the Rams is in the division, I gotta root for the Cowboys, which is hard to do because I can't stand the Cowboys. It is what it is. We got Tommy in the house. What's up, Tommy? Now, Tommy is being a little bit sarcastic here. I'm going to chalk it up to being sarcastic because for him to say that the Niners suck, come on, bro. You're a 49er fan. How in the world can you say that? You shouldn't say it, but it is what it is. And this is crazy, bro. This is really, really crazy. He's saying the Bengals 50 and the Niners 2. Really, bro? Really? Wash your mouth. Wash your mouth, bro. Come on. Let's see here. We got Don Dotson. We got royalty in the house. What's up, Don? Welcome, Don. Bebop says Devontae Adams grabbed one off the ground and they gave it to him. Shaking my head. I'm telling you, these referees are no freaking joke, man. Hello, my big brother, Niner Beto. Welcome, Don. Let's see here. So, let's talk about today's game. It looks like Trent Williams will not be playing, so it's going to be Jalen Moore. How are you guys scared? Hold on, guys. Let me move the camera right there. Are you guys scared for Jalen Moore? Do you guys think Jalen Moore's going to get his ass kicked? Or do you think that Jalen Moore will be okay? The one that we need to continue to worry about should be Colton McKivitz. You think Colton McKivitz should be the guy that we should continue to worry about? I don't know, man. I just... This offensive line, you know, I'm very disappointed in the San Francisco 49ers for not addressing the offensive line in the draft, in the offseason. I hope it doesn't come back to bite us. But the fact that they did not address the offensive line should have been alarms going off to all 49er fans. Now, I've been hearing people say, why don't the Niners go after an offensive lineman before the trade deadline? Listen, if there's an offensive lineman out there that is good, they're not going to be available to be traded this late. It's not like you're trading a defensive lineman or a defensive piece, a receiver, offensively or running back. Offensive linemen, they need to work together, okay? They need to work together. They need to build trust among each other. It's really hard to bring in a piece like that. The Niners should have addressed it in the offseason. They should have taken an offensive lineman instead of a kicker. They definitely should have taken a lineman instead of the tight end from Alabama, who has been redshirted all year. Is it me, or can the Niners screw up every third round pick? It seems like we're getting all these third round picks right because Kyle Shanahan has developed minority coaches like D'Amico Ryans, Robert Saleh, Mike McDaniels, also the main guy that went over to the Commanders as the general manager, we have gotten a lot of third-round picks because of these minority coaches getting head coach's job. But what have the Niners done with it? Absolutely nothing. I don't know about you guys. Other than Bosa and Debo, I say we don't draft until the 4th round every year. 4th round and down. Because unless it's me, okay, let me know in the comments, unless it's me. We haven't drafted a while in the 1st round, 2nd round, and 3rd round. An exception is Bosa and Debo, like I said. But other than those two guys, who else have we drafted? We took Drake Jackson in the 2nd round. He's not planning out, at least to this point. The fact that they went out and got Randy Gregory, it's not a good sign about Drake Jackson. So, what are we doing here? Why don't we start drafting from the 4th round down and trade those 1 and 2 and 3 picks to get more 5th and 6th round picks? Because I don't think the Niners are doing anything worthy of those picks. Am I wrong? Am I oversaturating here? Help me out, guys. Is Niner Beto just talking out of the side of his neck? Or are you with me? Do the Niners blow the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd round picks? I think that's an honest question. I know, man, I'm terrible today. I know, Tommy. You're good, bro. Always love and respect for you, Tommy. Kittle coming in hot. H-O-T. Coming in it.
I hope, for the love of God, that Kittle can come in and score.
I don't know, man. Let's see what Kittle does. Now, I love Kyle. I do. I love Kyle. I don't want Kyle fired. There's no other coach that can possibly come in and win the way that Kyle has been winning. So, but with that said, Kyle, why in the world do you not trust young players? What is your issue with rookies? TDP has not played. Okay? The corner that we picked up from Penn State hasn't played. Ronnie Bell, here and there, he's not in there. Jordan Mason, did not get the ball at all against Minnesota. Now, I understand CMC's the hot commodity. CMC's getting paid the top dollar. He's the highest paid running back. Give him the ball, right? I understand all that. You play your best players. But come on. Come on, guys. You're not going to put in Jordan Mason and Elijah Mitchell only got 1 touch. That's it. Now, it was for minus, and that was it. It was completely CMC. Now, I want to get your guys' thoughts. What the heck is Kyle doing not putting in Jordan Mason, excuse me? Do you think that Jordan Mason should have played in the game against Minnesota? You think he would have made a difference? A change of pace, if you will, in that game? Or do you agree with Kyle saying, yeah, you know what? CMC was healthy. He wasn't hurt as bad as people thought he was. So they went and gave him the ball. I'm okay with it. I want to hear your view. Are you okay with CMC taking every snap other than one that was given to Elijah Mitchell? Or you're like, what the hell is Kyle thinking? I would love to get your perspective in that. Jalen Moore, dime store. Left tackle, Colton, dime store, right tackle. It's an ugly, ugly situation that we're in, Tommy. The best Halloween costume is an NFL referee. Tommy, spooky. The kicker we got ain't no good. I wouldn't go as far as saying he's not good. Jason, and welcome to the show. Jason Moore, welcome, buddy. Good to see you. I wouldn't say he's no good. He's missed a few kicks that been questionable, particularly the miss against the Browns, which could have won us the game. Pressure is a real thing. Okay, I don't care how good you are, how high you are taken, how low you're taken, if you're an undrafted free agent. Let me tell you, being there watching a million people look at you and you're trying to make a game-winning field goal, that's pressure. Now, that's what he gets paid to do. He should have made it. He will get better. He made that 55-yarder. I think we'll be fine. I question that we took him in the third round. I don't question the kicker himself. I do question, why did we use a third-round pick on a kicker? That is what I question. Because I think every kicker will have their misses. Not everyone is automatic. Robbie Gould, who everyone wants back, he missed a lot of kicks, particularly last year. Do you guys remember when we played against the Raiders? He missed the winning field goal, and it was 41 yards and regular time. They had to go into overtime. Now, lucky for him, he got the opportunity to win the game in overtime. But he missed it in the fourth quarter. So kickers do miss kicks. I'm not unhappy with Moody. I like Moody. I just think the Niners paid too much to get him with a third-round pick. I think they should have addressed offensive linemen. Now, people are like, well, what you don't understand, Niner Beto, is that maybe they did not like no offensive linemen out there. Bull crap. There was somebody out there they could have taken. Let's see here. Our kicker needs to step up today. I agree 100%. Bosa and Ayuk pan out in the first. Kinbus didn't. Kinbus. Oh, Kinlaw? Yeah. Kinbus. I like that. I forgot about Ayuk. My apologies. Thank you for addressing that, Tommy. I mentioned Bosa and Debo, but Ayuk has planned out for us. So that is 3 players, though. Everyone else has gone for shits. Now, I love the drafting of the Niners, John Lynch and Kyle. Just not the early drafts. I love a lot of the late picks, like your Greenlaw, Hufanga, which I'm wearing his jersey, number 29 in his back. Kittle in the 5th round. You got a lot of great players that were taken in the late rounds. So do I think that every draft has been a bust? Absolutely not. But it seems like the higher up picks are the ones that have been giving us trouble. Welcome, my Facebook user. Unfortunately, Facebook is not allowing Ecamm to show your name unless you give it permission. you have to go into your settings, or if you make it over to YouTube, subscribe to my channel. If you haven't subscribed, YouTube will identify who you are so that I can address you personally. They're concerned about breaking records instead of winning games. Now, you got to break it down a little bit more for me. Who is concerned about breaking records? The players or the team? Because not that I want to disagree with you, but this locker room, to me, that I've seen in the last few years, have been very unselfish. They play for one another. They block for one another. They support one another. So for me to agree that they are trying to break records rather than winning games, I can't agree with that. I think the Niners are trying to win games. Have they been successful in the last 2 games? No. They did fine the first 5. And then people are like, well, it's Steve Wilks' fault because Steve Wilks has called more blitzes than anyone has done in the past. D'Amico hasn't called that many blitzes. Robert Saleh did not call that many blitzes, and D'Amico is calling blitzes, right? So the front 4 are not able to get into their gaps. They're not able to get into their stunts. They got to remain faithful to their spot because they got to open up the lane for the guy that is blitzing. That's what I've been hearing on Twitter. Stop it. Okay? Now, do I agree that we're blitzing way too much? Yes. But Bosa still needs to win his one-on-ones. Hargrave needs to win his one-on-ones. Okay? It's everybody's fault. Now, the call that Steve Wilks did right before the halftime against the Vikings was terrible. Although, if Charvarius Ward would not allow Addison to take the ball away from him, that would have been a great call. So suddenly, here's Charvarius Ward. He has his second interception, and he lets the other guy slap him around, take away the candy, if you will, and all suddenly it's a bad call for Steve Wilks. If Charvarius Ward would have kept the ball, it would have been a great call. So, you know what I mean? So, because it was turned into a touchdown, everybody was pissed off. Kyle Shanahan was put Steve Wilks under the bus. I think Steve Wilks is really a defensive coordinator they brought in as an scapegoat. If he works with the defense and makes it good, great. If he doesn't, we can always fire him, blame it on him. When have you heard a defensive coordinator take a job and not bring any of his coaches with him? He brought no coaches to the Niners defense other than himself. What's up, Laura Cat? Welcome to the channel. We got royalty in the house. Welcome, welcome. We got David McNiner in the house. How you doing, sir? He says Kyle has trust issues. Jordan Mason is good in our system, and he needs more carries. I agree. How could I disagree with that? I agree 100%. He needs to get the ball more often. So, Kyle Shanahan, Steve Wilks. Now, I was watching Mike from Nothing But Niners, and I'm the type of guy, I don't like to take credit when it's not my credit to take. When I hear things, I'm not going to be the one that repeats what I've heard and make it sound like it's coming from me and I know what I'm talking about. I'm always going to give credit to those that I hear from. And I heard Mike talking to, I forgot his name, the other gentleman from Niners Hive yesterday. And something that Mike from Nothing But Niners said really, really caught my attention. It really did. He said that because we're playing the Bengals today, because we're playing against three great receivers in Chase, Boyd, and Higgins, they're going to come out with a three-set receiver, right? They're going to come out with a three-set receiver that if Steve Wilkes decides to call a blitz when there's three receivers out there, we're going to get killed. Right? We're going to get killed if Wilkes calls blitzes when the Bengals are going with three set receivers. So what this is going to happen, in my opinion, and what Mike said, and I agree with, is they're going to be forced to play just 4 linemen and drop 7. What DeMeco Ryan has done all year last year and what Robert Saleh did before. So they're going to drop 7 and just rush 4. Because they have to. If you call a blitz on a 3-receiver set, as good as those receivers are, you're asking for a lot of trouble. Now, what I like what Mike said was Steve Wilkes is going to watch firsthand how good his front 4 is. He's going to see Bosa do his thing. He's going to see Hargrave do Eric Armstead. And whoever the floater is on the opposite of Bosa, whether it's Farrell, Gregory, Jackson, whoever. And if the Niners are able to generate pass rush with just the 4 and drop 7 and cover well, maybe, just maybe, Steve Wilkes wakes his ass up and continues to do that after the bye. So I hope that happens. We'll see. Most rookie kickers have their struggles. Jeff Wilkins struggled with us, then figured it out when he left. That's every rookie. Every rookie has their issues. I haven't kept up with the Eagles. Hopefully the Eagles are losing. Let me know if the Eagles are losing. That'll be great news. 49ers fan 26 is in the house. What's up, brother? Good to see you. Trent Williams is out. Yep. Yes, he is. We got CJ Sports Talk. We got Senor Chanel in the house. What's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Let's see here. No, it was Matt. Now that you mentioned the names, it was not Javier. It was Matt. It was Matt and Mike Bash. Thank you, though. Thank you for bringing up those 2 names. I was able to realize who it was. It was definitely Matt and Mike. They were going at it, or not going at it, but talking amongst each other. I like to watch Mike and Matt. Nothing against Javier. Great guy. They're all good. But I like the conversations between Mike and Matt. They bring a lot of great points. Now, are they always... Do I agree with everything they say? No. They like, especially Mike. I love Mike. He likes to go with his theories, right? His theories of what he thinks is going to happen. But I do like his knowledge, and I do like Matt's knowledge of football. So I really, really enjoy watching them. Now, I'll watch a lot of shows, okay? And I won't watch from the beginning to the end. I'll probably watch like a good 10, 20 minutes and then move on. Unless they're talking about something that really interests me. But it seems like whenever Mike and Matt are doing a show and I watch it on a replay, I tend to watch the whole thing. The whole thing. So I just want to give a shout out to them for doing their thing. Look at this. My co-host on Friday nights from Niners Now podcast, Jess from the East Coast, Red and Gold. Welcome. Royalty in the house. And she says, let's go out and get this dub. Absolutely. Let's see who else is in here. Okay. Now, I wasn't 100% sure, so I didn't say I went with Javier, but I'm like, Javier, that don't sound familiar. But okay, I'm not 100% sure, so who am I to disagree with you when I'm not 100%? But Zach is correct. Now that you wrote Zach on there, it is Zach, Matt, and Mike that come on together on the 49ers Hive. Thank you for clarifying that, Senor 49er minded. Stupid Commanders gave up a huge touchdown to the Eagles. Devontae Smith was completely uncovered. I see that it's 24-24. So we'll see what happens. Tanisha is in the house. What's up, Tanisha? We got royalty in the house. So, today's game. What do you think the Niners need to do to come out with a victory? What do you guys think the Niners need to do to come out with a victory over the Bengals, defensively and offensively? And great news, by the way, that Brock Purdy will be starting as our QB1 today, and we're not going to see Sam Darnold. Now, I have nothing against Sam Darnold. I think he's a great backup, but he's a backup for a reason. Now, I heard a lot of Niner fans speaking from the side of their neck on Twitter. Very, very emotional Niner fans. Well, we're going to see Sam Darnold. If he plays good football on Sunday against the Bengals, this is back when we weren't sure if Brock Purdy was going to play before he got cleared. If Sam Darnold plays and he plays well, they may go with Sam Darnold all the way through. They may bench Brock Purdy. Now, I know a lot of Niner fans are not happy with Brock Purdy. And particularly those that were really, 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 really in love with Trey Lance. Okay? They can't follow or support Brock Purdy because they got their feelings hurt that the Niners traded Trey Lance. Now, I like Trey Lance. I wanted him to be drafted. I was wrong. He did not do enough to impress the Niners to keep him. But I moved on. When I see Brock Purdy play against Miami last year, I'm like, whoa, what do we have here? And I was intrigued with Brock Purdy. And I've been a Brock Purdy fan ever since. I don't hate Trey Lance. But in my opinion, Brock Purdy's way better. And will be better than Trey Lance when it's all said and done. I'm not saying Brock Purdy is going to be a top 5. I'm not saying Brock Purdy is going to be a Hall of Famer. None of that. Brock Purdy's able to do what he needs to do with this scheme. He's able to run Kyle Shanahan's scheme to the fullest. Now, he threw two interceptions last week. People want to blame it on the concussion. People might say it's not a concussion, right? I don't know. Oh, Eagles just scored a touchdown to go up against the Washington Commanders. Based on what I just read on 49er Minded, I'm assuming that Sam Hall threw an interception. So, anyway, Brock Purdy is not a Patrick Mahomes. He's not a Josh Allen. He's not Joe Burrow. Okay? He's not. And he never will be. What Brock Purdy is, though, he is a guy that can run Kyle Shanahan's system to the best of his ability. People are like, well, yeah, but if you take away Debo, he had a great game against Minnesota, by the way. Yes, he had 2 interceptions, and people are like, what are you talking about, Niner Beto? He had 2 interceptions. Yes, he did. But if you look at the all 22, he had a great game against Minnesota. He struggled against the Browns. And yet, he was able to get the Niners in position to win it by a 41-yard field goal. And unfortunately, Jake Moody missed it. And that was without Debo and without Christian McCaffrey. I am not saying that Brock Purdy is a top 5 MVP. Like people are like, oh, he's running for MVP, blah, blah, blah. No, he's just good in the Niners offense. And right now, there's no other quarterback that is available that I'd rather have than Brock Purdy leading the Niners week in and week out. Now, the trade deadline will come and go on Tuesday. The Niners have until Tuesday, I believe by 3 p.m. Pacific, if I'm not mistaken, or 1 p.m., to make a trade with a team. A lot of names that have popped up in the surface of these trades have been pass rushers and corners. People are mentioning Monte Sweat. People are mentioning Chase Young. People are mentioning Sartain, corner from the Broncos. Now, let me ask you this. If no trade happens by Tuesday, does it mean that John Lynch was not aggressive enough to go and get a trade done? Or does it mean that John Lynch, Kyle Shanahan, and Murat Parag stayed true to themselves? They went and pursued people like Monte Sweat, people like Brian Burns, people like Chase Young, Sartain. But maybe they were not willing to give up too much capital for them. So just because we don't bring nobody in, and I'm not saying we are not, but if Tuesday comes and goes and we did not bring none of these players that I just mentioned, people are going to be like, well, John Lynch is not aggressive enough. Kyle Shanahan, blah, blah, blah. Are you kidding me? Are you freaking kidding me now? John Lynch has done everything since he's got here in 2017. He's moved up and down the draft board. Other than one draft, the rest of them he has moved up or down. He has brought in a lot of players. He brought in Trent Williams. That's a trade for the ages, right? We gave up a third and a fifth for an all-pro left tackle. We traded for Christian McCaffrey, who has, 24 touchdowns since becoming a 49er. We traded for, in 2019, we traded for Emmanuel Sanders, to help us get to the Super Bowl. We have traded for a lot of players. You're not going to sit there and tell me that Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch are not aggressive enough. That's a bunch of hogwash. But they're not stupid either. They're not the Rams. Let me say it again. They are not the Rams. They're not going to mortgage their future to win a Super Bowl this year. Now you're like, wait a minute. The whole plan is to win a Super Bowl. It is. This is my opinion and my opinion only. You play like, who was it, Jim Mora? Or was it, what's his name? The guy that he was a corner or safety for the Eagles, and then he became a coach. You play to win the game. I can't think of his name. It's not Jim Mora. If you guys can put it in the comments, I would appreciate it. And you play to win a Super Bowl. I understand. The objective every year is to win the Super Bowl. Okay? Now, how many of you agree with me that it takes a lot of luck in the playoffs and it takes a lot of luck in the Super Bowl to win it? Not only do you have to have a great coaching staff, a great roster, but you need a lot of luck, right? If your team is competitive each and every year, and they're winning 10 plus games a year and guaranteed to make the playoffs, your opportunities to make it to the Super Bowl are high. If you don't make the playoffs, you have 0% to make the Super Bowl, correct? So, even though ideally it is up to us to win the Super Bowl every year, we need to be competitive each and every year. It is fun to watch the Niners win games, is it not? How do you feel about the loss last Sunday? How did you feel about the loss, last Sunday and then Monday? Terrible, right? But when we win, we feel good. So even though I want to win a Super Bowl, and I think the Niners will, you got to be competitive. So I've been hearing Niner fans say, wow, I will sell out everything to win a Super Bowl this year. Go and get Montez Sweat. Go and get Chase. Give away your draft picks. F the draft picks scenario. Give away your number one. Anyway, the Niners don't draft well in the first 3 rounds anyway. So get rid of these 1s, 2s, and 3s and go get players to help us win this year. But you're risking the future. What happens if you go all in and you don't win the Super Bowl. Just because you got all in doesn't guarantee you're going to win it. And now you're struggling next year, the year after that. I don't want to go through that. I don't. I want to win each and every year, and I want to be able to enjoy victories. Ham Edwards, thank you. That is correct. Thank you there, Jess. So I want to win every week. Maybe you guys don't agree with me. That's fine. Niner Beto, shut up. I want to win the Super Bowl. You've been through five Super Bowls. I have an experience, and I understand that. But I want to be competitive each and every year and have a chance to win a Super Bowl title each and every year. How many teams come in to the season just wanting to make the playoffs? Forget about the Super Bowl. They just want to make the playoffs. Their team hasn't made the playoffs in so many years. The reason why the Niners' expectations are Super Bowl or bust is because you have a good roster and you have good coaching. I guarantee you, when we were under Jim Kelly or under Chip Kelly, and Jim Tansula, when we were under Mike Singletary, Mike Nolan, do you really believe we were saying Super Bowl or bust? Every season that we came into with those guys, the late 90s, early 2000s, were you really saying, oh man, this year is Super Bowl or bust? You weren't. Why? Because the Niners were not in contention of winning any games. Okay? They were not in contention of winning any games. So there was no Super Bowl or bust. But I guarantee you this year and last year, you're like Super Bowl or bust. So I know what I'm saying without repeating myself too much. You got to be competitive if you want to have an opportunity to win. So am I for selling out this year to win a Super Bowl and risking it? No. I want to win every year. I look at it as a fan and as a business as well. I can separate the two. If we trade for somebody, it's because we got a great deal in that trade. If we don't trade for someone, it's because whether it's the Panthers, whether it's Washington, or whether it's the Broncos, maybe they just want too much. And this is what cracks me up. And I'm going to be ending the show because we're going to be getting ready for the Niners game at 1:25. But this is what cracks me up, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? Go and get that corner from the Broncos. Top corner. Go and get him, Niners. Charvarius Ward, he's a number 2. You can move Lenore to the corner slot position. Go get him. Right? Go get him. But what would you say if I told you the Niners got him, but they gave up 2 number 1s and 2 number 2s? All of a sudden, your tone changes, right? It's one of those catch-22. Damn if you do, damn if you don't. Oh, they got a great piece to add to the defense. Yeah. Whoa, wait. What? They gave up what? They gave up 2 number 1s and a 2? What were they thinking? You are unhappy. You're unhappy. So whether they give up too much, you're unhappy. If they don't give enough, you're unhappy. Which is it? You're unhappy because they give up too much or they don't give enough. You can't have it both ways, ladies and gentlemen. And this is where we find ourselves with the 49er fan base. What's up, Scott? Welcome to the channel, my friend. We need to get a trade before Tuesday 4. That's the problem, Scott. There is no offensive lineman that you're going to trade for. Who in their right mind is going to trade a good offensive lineman piece? It is easier to trade for a great defensive lineman like Brian Burns, Chase Young, or Montez Sweat, or a great top corner like Sartan. But it is very rare that you trade for a top offensive lineman. Very, very rare. So, do I want to trade for an offensive? Of course. Do I want to replace McKivitz? Absolutely. But I don't see it happen. Now, whether we win it all or not, the Niners definitely, and this is going two ahead. We're still within the season. We're only in week 8. But if the Niners are going to address the offensive lineman, they better do it in the offseason, whether through free agency or the draft. But right now, Scott, unless the Niners prove me wrong, I just can't see the Niners getting a top flight offensive lineman in the trade, and particularly when today is Sunday, and the deadline is on Tuesday. And I don't want the Niners reaching. I don't want the Niners to reach for an offensive lineman, give too much capital, and he's not that great. So, it is what it is. Do the Niners make a trade? Maybe. Who would they trade for? Now, there are some names out there that are not huge names, like Surtain or Montez Sweat or Brian Burns or Chase Young. But there are some players out there that can come in and help us offensively and defensively. Let's see what happens, guys. But at the end of the day, I want to beat the Bengals today. It is important. Now, to me personally, this is not a must-win game. It isn't. If the Niners go into the bye 5-3, the world is not ending. Okay? We started 3-5 last year, but I rather go into the bye 6-2. I rather go into the bye 6-2 rather than 5-3. But if we do go 5-3, it is not time to hit the panic button. But if we go into the bye 6-2, the Niners will be able to bring back Trent Williams, who should be healthy by then. Deebo Samuel should be healthy by then. They can regroup, reassess what has gone right and what has not gone right from week 1 to week 8. Get their shit together during the bye and come hard week 10 against the Jaguars. So to me, it's not a must-win game, if you will, but it is a very important game to win in order for us to go in. Because let's be honest, I'm talking about a fan right now. Now, I'm going to talk about the Niners in a minute, but just as a fan, do you really want to spend 2 weeks harboring that we have lost 3 games in a row? As a fan, do you really want to go into the bye with an extra week to wait to play the Jaguars, harboring we lost 3 in a row? Or would you rather go into the bye with, yes, we lost to the Browns and Vikings, but we beat the crap out of the Bengals and we're heading in the right direction again. We're 6-2. That's where I stand. That is where I stand. 6-2. I'd rather have that than 5-3. So let's go ahead and handle our business today at 125 at Levi's. The Niners are back after being gone for 2 weeks on the road. They're back at home. They're back at Levi Stadium amongst the Niner faithful. That energy that Levi brings, it's going to energize our players. Let's get this W. Let's go out and beat the Bengals tonight, or at 125, excuse me, and let's get the dub. I want to see better performances from Bosa, Hargrave. I want to see Gregory step up. I want to see better performances from Charvarius Ward. And Kyle, I beg, I beseech you to please play Jordan Mason. Give him some snaps. I would like to see, now I know they what's the word? They signed him to, what's the word they use when you're on the practice squad and they sign you up from the practice squad? What's his name? Snead, the receiver. And then they got the corner. But I want to see Ronnie Bell. How many of you want to see more of Ronnie Bell? I think this kid is special. I think the more that Ronnie Bell plays, the better. The better. What's up, Jason? My Uso brother. My brother from a different mother. How you doing, sir? Do never, ever have to apologize to me. You're never late. You're right on time. Rabzilla in the house. What's up, Mr. Chavez? How you doing, sir? That's my wife's maiden name, Chavez. So, of course, she took my last name, Luna, as marriage, but her maiden name is Chavez. So that's a great last name there, Senor Chavez Jr. Not Chavez, Chavez. I would love to see Ronnie play. I would too. Why are we not playing Ronnie Bell? Why are we not playing more of Jordan Mason? Why? Hopefully those whys will be answered today by Kyle. Before I call it a day, and I appreciate you guys hanging out with me for an hour, how many snaps do you guys think, not what you think he should get, but how many snaps do you think that Jordan Mason will get? How many snaps do you think Jordan Mason will get? I'm curious to know, before I let you guys go, how many snaps do you think Jordan, not how many snaps do you want him to get, not how many snaps do you think he should get, but how many snaps you think he will get against the Bengals today? How many snaps do you think he will get? Now, ultimately, I want the W. Oh my God. They just turned over the ball on downs. The Eagles just beat the Washington Shamanders. The Washington Shamanders on fourth down. He gets the ball and oh my God. A number 7 for the Eagles. We know number 7. He's the one that put our quarterback on the shelf. Sam Reddick is playing lights out for the damn Eagles. It is what it is. Wow. Okay. 10 snaps. Interesting. I like it. I like that. I like that a lot. Let's see here. Me, I really want to see Ronnie Bell so bad, but Kyle doesn't let young players have a chance. I know that. I don't understand why. That kid, Kanua, whatever his name is, with the Rams, as great as he's playing for the Rams, if he would have been drafted by the Niners, would he have the same numbers that he has with the Rams? He's the same player. And whatever Matthew Stafford's doing, I see Brock can do. But the answer would be no. Why? Because he probably wouldn't be playing that much because Mr. Damn Shanahan doesn't like to play young players. Now, that's something that I don't like about Kyle. Give your young players an opportunity to showcase what they can do. While I have been waiting more, while I have been wanting more of Bell, what we need is some Mason to take the load off CMC. I can't disagree with that, Jason. I cannot disagree with that. Let's get that W. Absolutely. Unleash the beast. Number 24. I'm hoping that Kyle listens to you guys because as great as Kyle is, I don't want him fired. I want him here. He's one hell of a coach. What even better play caller. But he is stubborn. He is stubborn, and that is very, very frustrating. Kyle, get your head out of your ass and get out of your own way. Get out of your own way. Trust in Ronnie Bell. Trust in Jordan Mason. Trust that your young guys, even though they're young, they will make mistakes, but they're going to learn and become better players because you trust them. Tim Diaz, what's up, brother? Bang Bang Niner Gang, hell yeah. Welcome to the show. Puka Nakua, there you go. Thank you. Puka Nakua. He showcased who he is because Sean McVay gives him opportunities to play. And if he would have been with the Niners, I don't think his numbers would have been as great. Not because he's not good, which we know he is. He wouldn't have opportunities. See what happens when you give players opportunities to play? I'm not saying all of them, but the majority prove you right. You got to do it. Yeah. I remember, Bashar, I remember you mentioning him a few times in your mock drafts, so I can testify that that is a true statement. But my goodness, he's blown up. But mainly, first and foremost, it's because of his ability to do what he does. But secondly, it's because Sean McVay has given him the opportunity. Now, I also think they had to do it out of need, right? They had number 10, Cooper Kupp, was out, so they were forced to start the rookie. Now, sometimes I wonder, the Niners are so loaded at every position, receiver, tight end, running back. where do you put a young rookie at? So maybe that's why Kyle doesn't start, but I can't. I have a hard time believing that. I can't even sell that to myself. Kyle needs to give these young kids an opportunity to play. What's up, Eric? Welcome, sir. They need to give them enough time to play. What's up, Ancho, my brother from a different mother? How you doing, sir? The Shaw Show is in the house. My brother Ancho, how you doing, sir? Whose snaps were we talking about? Jason, now I'm throwing up. Jordan Mason. We're talking about Jordan Mason not getting enough snaps, or in the case of the game against Minnesota, getting no snaps. Now, CMC ran great, but give me a break. You bring Elijah Mitchell for one snap, but not Mason? I don't understand that, guys. I really don't. I love Kyle. I don't want him fired. I don't see nobody out there that is better than Kyle unless you're Andy Reid or Coach Belichick. Other than those two, I'll stick with Kyle. Kyle is a top 3, not a top 5, a top 3 coach in the NFL. And the two guys that I mentioned are the 1 and 2. Andy Reid is number 1. Belichick is number 2. Then Kyle, in my opinion. So do I want to get rid of Kyle? Absolutely not. But do I think that Kyle needs to get out of his own way and allow these young players to showcase what they can do? Yes. Kyle, give snaps to Jordan Mason. Kyle, give snaps to Ronnie Bell. This young rookie that we have in Jair Brown hasn't touched the ball. I thought we were going to play a lot of 3 safety sets, and nope. Now, maybe because Jair Brown has not picked up on the concepts of the plays. A lot of times we want to blame the coach, and it's the player that hasn't picked up the concepts. But come on, we know Jordan Mason has picked it up. We know Ronnie Bell has picked it up. Why aren't we seeing more of these players playing football for our San Francisco 49ers? Why? Please explain to me why Kyle doesn't trust young players. Again, I don't want Kyle fired. I don't think he should be fired, like a lot of Niner fans feel. But he does need to get out of his own way, and he needs to allow Ronnie Bell, Jordan Mason, these young cats to play. Billy is in the house. What's up, Billy? Are you going to stream the game? No. A lot of people have asked me, or asked a lot of content creators, and I haven't seen anybody do it. YouTube or any other platform will shut you down. You stream the game unless you are a great hacker and you're able to move your IP address and you're able to do all these things where YouTube can't find you, then heck yeah. Unfortunately, I am not that smart. I'm not going to say that I can't do it, but it's just too much hassle to be changing the IP address every so often to stream the game. I hope you can find it, Billy. I hope somebody is streaming it, or not somebody, but I hope that you can find a format out there that would allow you to watch Niner games. Because I know a lot of people that are not in California, you know, born and raised in California, San Jose, right? Now I'm in Modesto. Well, I'm in Riverbank next to Modesto. I've never missed a Niner game because they're local. But people don't realize when you're out of California, they don't stream those games locally there. So sometimes it's hard to be a Niner fan out of California. So, Billy, I hope you find a way to watch the game today. Unfortunately, it won't be with me. Mitchell should be ready to explode since he's barely touched the ball. Now, listen, Bashard, let me know if you agree or disagree on this point. People have been hard on Mitchell. Mitchell doesn't seem to be the same guy. He doesn't look right. He doesn't look like the old Mitchell that we know. One thing I've learned with Elijah Mitchell, watching tape, he needs snaps to get into rhythm. He's the type of guy, he needs to get into rhythm. He needs to get a lot of snaps and pick up his pace and get into rhythm. When you give him 1 or 2 snaps here and there throughout a game, the guy doesn't have a chance to get into rhythm. Therefore, he's not playing to par. Now, do I want CMC to get hurt in order for Elijah to get into rhythm? Of course not. But Kyle does not play another back enough for them to get into rhythm. And I think that's the problem with Elijah Mitchell. Now, let me know if you agree or disagree with me. And either choice is fine with me. We're not here to always agree with me. I love it, to be honest with you. I love it when people disagree with me. I like an explanation why you disagree, other than just saying, and I'm not talking about you, Bashar. I'm talking about generally. Nope, you're wrong, Beto. You're wrong. Okay, why am I wrong? You're just wrong. Well, you know what I mean? You're just wrong. Just trust me. Trust me. You're just wrong. I'm not going to, yeah, that doesn't work for me. Now, if you say, hey, Beto, you're wrong, and this is why, A, B, and C. And then I look at it from your lenses, and I'll say, I didn't see it that way. That makes good point there. You're right. I was wrong. Or, nope, even though you explained it to me, I can't agree with you. I still stand on my statement. But when people say that I'm wrong, but don't care to explain to me how I'm wrong, I don't listen to them. You're wrong. Why am I wrong? You're just wrong. Well, that's more of an opinion than facts, right? Thought you were about to out of his own. Thought you were about to out of his. Why are you making this difficult for me? Thought you were about to out of his own ass. I know there's a point that you're trying to make there, but there's blanks between your brain and your typing that I can't see. But I'm pretty sure in your brain, what you wrote makes perfect sense, right? That's happened to me. What's up, Brandon? Brandon, I was going to add your channel to this live feed today, but I didn't do it because I'm like, no, I'm not going to do it because I don't have Brandon's permission. But I don't mind adding your channel whenever I decide to do a live with or without you, if you want me to. I don't got a problem with that, but I'm not going to do it without your permission. Jair Brown should play. Be thrown in. Exactly. Anything. Get his feet wet. I know a lot of people are like, well, you know, Deshaun Gibson is playing good, which he is. Hufanga's doing his thing. There's no need to bring in Jair Brown. Go ahead and do the route of Hufanga. Just let him sit for a year. Although I think Hufanga did get some touches his first year, if I'm not mistaken. The fact that Jair Brown hasn't touched the ball at all. Now, I know he's been on special teams, but not necessarily on that. All right, guys, it is 1:18. The game starts in a few minutes. Enjoy the game, everyone. Go Niners. Handle your business. Let me make sure I say hi to Josh. I see you, Josh 1. Welcome. Make sure I don't leave nobody else. I already said hi. We got Tito Fernandez in the house. I live in Riverbend, California, and they don't put, you're right. I did say California. I stand corrected, Tito. It's Northern California, because in Southern California, they have the Rams and the Chargers that they're going to show more. Now, here in Northern California, I seen the Rams game. So I'm surprised that they're not going to show the Niner game today at 1:25 since the Rams already played. Unless the Chargers play at the same time. That's the only time I can see that not happening. But you're right. I stand corrected. All right, guys. Enjoy the game. Go Niners. This is not a must-win game, but it'll be a nice game to win. Let's go into the bye 6-2 rather than 5-3. Keep your fingers crossed. I want to see a great game. You guys are amazing. Thank you for joining me for an hour. Have a wonderful evening. I may go live after the game. I'm not sure yet. I gotta make sure the wife has no plans today. But if there's no plans with the wife after the game, I may go live. So look out for, and if you're following me on YouTube, make sure to hit the notification bell so that you will be notified when I go live. And let's talk about the game after the game, if I'm available. Until then, I am your boy Niner Beto. Thank you for watching the Niners Sickness Podcast. Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and let all your friends know about the Niners Sickness Podcast. Benju, Leo, I screwed up your name. I'm just going to say Leo. Welcome, my friend. All right, guys, I am out of here. Have a wonderful day. Be blessed. God bless you guys. And we'll see you on the next Niner Sickness Podcast. Peace.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.